Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm back with another Nolzur's marvelous miniature, and this is an elf sorceress. Well, at least it's supposed to be, because the person that chose this miniature was based on her character, which is an elf sorceress, and she found that this one was the most closest, and she asked me to paint it for her, so I said I would. So we're starting off with some elven flesh, and this is going to go on her face, her arms, and parts of her legs as well. The elven flesh is because she is an elf, and I could have used some of the new skin tones from the Army Painter, but I just found, let's try elven flesh to see where that goes. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to me, guys. And we're moving on to some elf green, because of course we're using some elvish colors here. And this is just going to be for her hood. Alright, and we're moving on to some wizard orbs, and this is going to be for her scarf. And we're doing a whole bunch of greens and blues on this elf because I'm not following at all the artwork on the box since I didn't have it. So I got to use my creative imagination with this one. And the next color we're going to be using is Royal Cloak, and this is going to be for pretty much her undershirt and her, I guess, skirt kind of thing, you could call it. Anyways, that's where this blue is coming in. Beautiful color, by the way. It really pops. It just gives this elf a nice color to it. Alright, the next color we're going to be using is Crystal Blue from the Army Painter, and it's going to be used on this, like, kind of like a pauldron or something, like her side armor, or part of like her dressing, I guess. I just wanted to differentiate from the other parts of her. And once again, it seems like when I use these smaller miniatures, my camera goes out of focus on them. Anyways, alright, now we're going to be doing her hair with some moon dust. Of course, we didn't want to use Babe Blonde because that's really blonde and shiny. We're using some moon dust here just to give this nice yellowish look. Alright, the next color we're moving on is a unique color from the D&D's Nolzur's Marvelous Paints, and this is from the Underdark paint set. And this is going to be some rigid leather for her boots and the straps around her legs. This is a very dark brown. You have to shake it really well, otherwise it comes out more watered down than anything else. So make sure you put a mixing bowl in there if you have any. Next, we're going to be using some leather brown on her straps and her belt and all the little pouches that she has on her body. Now, of course, we can't paint an elf without some elven armor, so we're using this metallics paint from the Army Painter, and it's going to be used for her arm braces. As you can see, it's a beautiful shiny blue color. These metallic paints are amazing. If you don't have them, get your hands on them as soon as you can, because they are a great addition to your painting hobby. Alright, moving on to the flames coming out of her hands, or that look like pistols, we're going to be using some mythical orange to start with, and this is just going to be the center of this one, and then the other firebolt's going to be done completely in the mythical orange. It's sometimes hard to paint over clear plastic, so sometimes if you want to do is you just paint one side so that the light can still come through onto the other side. But in this case, I decided to paint both sides, but I didn't like how it ended up anyways, so I'm using some Phoenix Flames just to finish off that first flame, but I'll come on later on and fix that up. Now I'm using some Banshee Brown to dry brush on top of the rigid leather as well as the leather brown, just to give it a little bit more depth when the wash comes on. And speaking of washes, I'm going to be using a shade right now from Citadel, and this is Cassandora Yellow. And this is going to go over those belts again, just to get into the nooks and crannies and to give it a final touch. Using a soft skin wash now from the Army Painter's new Skin Tones paint set, we're going to go over the hair and the face, the arms, and the parts of the legs that have the skin on it as well. And the hair, what I liked is that it didn't give it too dark on it, so it was perfect. And for the rest of the entire miniature, we're going to be using a soft tone. Now, I do finish off her flame that's on the back of her off camera, and then I glue it to the base, put some Vallejo mud texture on, finish off the entire base, and this is what it gives. Hey, look at that. She looks amazing, doesn't she? Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. We'll catch you in the next one.